Good morning. I'm Sneha Shetty, Assistant Professor, Department of ISC, Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering, Mysore. I heartily welcome all the newly joined first-year students to the session on health concern post-pandemic standard operating protocols. Our today's speaker is a famous psychiatrist. I'm pleased to welcome our amazing resource person, Dr. Ravish B.N., Professor and Head, Department of Psychiatry, Mysore Medical College and Research Institute, Mysore. Former Director, Dharwad Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience. His education qualification include MBBS in Kasturba Medical College, Mangaluru, MD in Psychiatry from Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, Postgraduate Diploma in Medical Law, Ethics and Human Rights, International Diploma in Mental Health Law, PhD from BU University, Amsterdam, Netherlands. His long list of awards includes he is the first Asian member to European Psychiatry Research Group, youngest and most qualified director for Medical Institute, Government of Karnataka, Service Award by State Government Employees Association, International Associate Royal College of Psychiatry, UK, Young Scientist Award from Austria, Distinguished Young Teacher Award by Karnataka State. Speaking about his publication, he has published 72 national and international journals, 4 chapters in International Psychiatry textbook, and 3 books in Kannada. He has presented more than 300 state, national, and international meets. He has served as president in Indian Psychiatry Society Karnataka chapter. He was a member of Karnataka State Mental Health Authority and Karnataka State Mental Health Task Force. He was the nodal officer of North Karnataka National Mental Health Program, which includes 12 districts. He has been the chairman of Legal Cell, Indian Psychiatry Society Karnataka chapter. And today, he will be sharing with us his expert opinion on the topic. With that, I ask all the viewers to give your full attention to Dr. Ravish BN and note down all the important points. Over to you.
Thank you very much. And a very good afternoon to all of you students. At the outset, I would like to thank the staff of Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering for inviting me for the very vital, I can say, topic, which is health during this pandemic period. And in advance, Happy New Year wishes. I'm sure if you had known that if 2020 would have been such a horrible year, you wouldn't have celebrated last year, that is December 31st, 2019. Anyway, I came to your college, I'm sitting in your college because it's quite boring to sit in 4 walls and then talk to a non-living creature called a computer. Okay, and I'm sure I empathize, okay, the difficulties faced by you students. And I will try to keep this presentation short and sweet. See, if you look at the very first slide, sound mind in a sound body. Okay, that's a common slogan you would have heard. An healthy body plus an healthy mind definitely leads to a happy life. But is life so simple? It's not, because we have a lot of desires. We have a lot of illusions. Okay. We have a lot of fantasies. And particularly in your age group, okay, these fantasies are unlimited. And that's the reason, okay, the nature indirectly, okay, tells that I am mightier than you human beings. We are drowning in information. Okay. I think today, any corner of the world can be connected within microseconds. In fact, I'm reaching to you through this information explosion, but we are starving for wisdom. See, if you ask your grandparents, they would have told you about the importance of hygiene, the social hygiene, which we had forgotten. So we all think that technology can conquer anything, including health. But today we are technologically so, uh, you know, on the heights of in inventions, but still we are still struggling with a COVID-19 situation. So I slightly modified the title given by the organizers, that post pandemic handling health concern, so into pandemic, because we are still going through the pandemic. Now, if you are not worried, then I think that's a worry. Everyone needs to be worried during this COVID 19. I know you will be worried for wrong reasons, but you should be worried for the health reason. So, and it's a normal feeling, okay, being anxious about COVID 19. And the only way you can handle this worry is by sharing your feelings with probably authorized, okay, people, okay, authenticated people or reliable sources. So don't listen to whatever and however the messages comes in the WhatsApp university. Please seek information from the reliable people. With this disclaimer in the beginning itself, I would like to tell you how I will go about in my presentation. Let me start with psychology of pandemics. Who are the vulnerable population? Why mental health is important? What type of problems encountered by you students during this pandemic or the COVID-19, and how to handle it? See, there are different terminologies. Okay. Pandemic. Pan means the entire globe. Okay. Endemic means is related to particular geographical region. When particular geographical region, okay, the disease or the communicable disease gets communicated throughout the globe, then it is called a pandemic. Okay, so please don't get confused by this terminology. We already know that COVID-19, it started in December 19, exactly 1 year, and almost we are seeing the downward fall of the first wave. Okay, so we had so many lakhs of COVID-19 cases even in India. Okay, but is that the only impact of COVID-19? No. Rather, these pandemics are not new to the modern world. Okay, exactly a century ago, we had what is called as Spanish flu. This Spanish flu lasted almost 20 months. That means to say, we can expect second, third, and fourth wave. So now, if the doctor tells to a patient, you have COVID 19, the patient will ask, do I have a Chinese strain or an UK strain? Meaning to say, now we are seeing a different wave. Okay, we are expecting the second wave. Now, what I am focusing is the fourth wave. Okay, the fourth wave is more towards psychological trauma, mental illnesses, economic injury, economic burden. Of course, you're not earning, okay, you are still under the guidance of your parents. So, economic part, I'm sure it's not your headache, it's your parents' headache. And finally, burnout. Burnout is sustained stress. Then, to give you an example of burnout, the moment you saw the book, I mean, most of you have developed this kind of a habit. The moment you see a book, you don't feel like reading. Okay, that's burnout. Okay, you would be burnout for wrong reasons. Anyway, let's see how we can handle all those. So, what is the psychology of pandemics? Pandemic will cause lot of stress right from children to old age people, and it stresses all business, okay, all activities of common man and the government. So what did the government immediately respond? They called for a lockdown, and students were very happy because the colleges were closed down, shut down, okay. Why? Safety first. Whenever there is a disaster, okay, this is also a disaster. This is a man made health disaster. So always focus on the safety first. Even now, okay, government had to rethink about reopening the colleges. But what is threatening is the stigma, misconception. You know, as doctors, okay, we couldn't go back to the family when we are working in the COVID hospital because we had that fear whether we'll go back and infect our family. And people were not ready to give rent. Okay, so lot of stigmatization happened. There were normal fear, there were abnormal fear, and what was really aghasting was some people showed no fear. Even a chunk of population thinks that there is nothing called an entity called COVID-19. It's all hype of the media, hype of government. So some people do not believe that there is COVID-19 at all. So that is really scaring. Okay. So the normal fear is fear of losing life, fear of losing livelihood, uh, getting separated from loved ones. Okay. I think many of you, either far relatives or friends, would have lost, okay, because of this COVID-19. So these are all normal fears. But the abnormal fear, see, some people would use the sanitization on the table. Okay, some people even drank sanitization thinking that the way it would clean the surface of the table or other inanimate things, it would kill the bacteria, this virus when they consume sanitization, and they had to succumb to that. So these kind of abnormal fear was also seen, which we call it as phobia. But let me tell you, please, you need to fear. If you don't fear, then there is something wrong in your mindset. Now, whenever any disaster happens, we have what is called as a psychological response of the society. Please understand, somewhere in December last year, okay, there were warning signs. Something wrong was happening in China. But that threat, probably the WHO itself did not realize. So, Chinese who went to Italy, they spread that virus. The problem with this virus is it mutates. Okay, it changes its structure. Okay, see, virus is nothing but a kind of a protein. Okay, in here we call it as mRNA. Okay, so we fail to understand the real threat. Only after the impact, when it shooted, okay, then we realized, then there were a lot of NGOs, there were a lot of good Samaritans, okay, who donated, okay, food grains and shelter. They tried to help people in distress. But after reaching the peak, then we started to realize how much economical burden, how much the government had to support with respect to the health system, health care, okay, who were supposed to get quarantined, and identifying quarantine places, all those things, which is a kind of disillusionment. Okay, see, now you think that you have been promoted, okay, without giving examination by VTU. but after some time you will realize that, okay, not attending the lab or not attending hands on training. See, I don't know how much it will impact for an engineering student, but for doctors, this whole year we've been just seeing COVID 19 cases, and we have left our regular cases. So don't think that because of COVID 19 the other cases would have come down. So this kind of disillusionment will go, and as you can see, there are a lot of small peaks, and then there will be anniversary reactions, like how you celebrate Vijay Divas, okay, for as a Kargil win. So like that, then the reconstruction goes on. So a lot of grief reactions will be there. So this is a phase, different phases, okay, following a disaster. What is important is, don't think that this is the end of a pandemic. If COVID 19 goes, there will be some other pandemic which will come to the world. Please understand this. We will never be devoid of any infections. And why did COVID 19 come? We started eating things which are not supposed to be eaten. I don't want to get into the controversy. Please understand, okay, it was because of non-vegetarian, okay, certain type of non-vegetarian food, okay. uh, People still say it was a lab induced infection, but let us not go into detail. Pandemics will always stay in the world, okay. If you go back to Newton, okay, in fact Newton during the quarantine period developed certain hypotheses. If you go back and read Newton's biography, so pandemics tend to happen every century, and some kind of endemics like H1N1, okay, swine flu, okay, we had just seen 6 or 7 years back, chikungunya, dengue fever. These are all infections. So please don't think that once we have vaccine for COVID 19, okay, the infections will be eradicated from the world. No, it's not such a kind of a situation. I hope you're all with me, because I can't see your faces. So thinking that your attention is very vital in order to sensitize you how to handle this. Now, whenever there is COVID or any kind of medical disaster, so there are certain vulnerable population. Why these people are called vulnerable, I will tell you later. Children, okay, that's why. So even when there was partial lifting of the lockdown, children were never allowed to come outside the house. Then elderly people, particularly who are quite elder enough, needing some kind of support, people with serious mental illness. People with serious mental illness doesn't know how to protect themselves. People with physical disabilities, okay, it could be in the form of just diabetes, okay, or hypertension, cardiac problems, all those. People with substance dependence, I want to emphasize on this, because even during lockdown, okay, before the other parts were lifted out, the bars were opened. Government had to succumb to the pressure of the people who were alcoholics, okay. So why? Because they couldn't control their dependency craving, and people living in poverty. Now many people think that by common sense they can handle situation. No matter how much effort you put in, if you use the wrong tools, you won't able to make it. So why mental health is important? Because there is something called psychoneuroendocrinology and immunology. That means to say how effectively you can withstand the infection depends on your mental status. See, there is no point taking vitamin C tablets, zinc supplements, okay, or vitamin D3, until unless your body has natural immunity. And how that immunity comes? Mainly by your mental status, okay, because there is a tract called as psychoneuroimmunology. So people who are healthier, happier, are very likely to resist, okay, um, the infections. So children don't have immunity, developed immunity. So are elderly people who lack immunity, and people with immunocompromised conditions, even diabetes. It's an endocrinal problem, less of insulin secretion. So they are vulnerable for infection. So even now, whenever the COVID vaccine comes, it will be given to the normal healthy people first, then the high risk population. Please understand this. So whenever there is any such kind of pandemic, there are a lot of psychological symptoms, not necessarily some kind of a diagnosis, meaning a kind of a disorder, okay, or a kind of a illness. So these psychological symptoms are quite common, but they are quite often ignored. Okay, people are not sensitized enough to pick up these symptoms. Now, see, France is a developed country where they have national data. Okay. And as you all know, India is being such a highly populated country, very difficult to get a proper scientific data. So, from France, we got data from all the university students. Nearly 11.4% had suicidal thoughts. Okay, it could be because of many multiple reasons. They have 22% had severe distress, high level of perceived stress, almost quarter of the university students. Mind you, severe depression, not a common simple feeling of sad mood, but a diagnosable severe depression in 16.1%. That means to say 16% of university students needed to be treated with antidepressants, and high level of anxiety in 27.5%. So it definitely affects university students like you, and you need to be prepared how you can handle these symptoms. This is a very simple depiction how in disaster, okay, there are different interactions. Please understand, the red one matters a lot, because that is a distress reaction shown by majority of the population. So there are, in the light blue circle, okay, few of them will develop certain mental disorders. Those are anxiety disorders, depression, post traumatic stress disorder. That means to say, when a loved or a nearer, dearer person is lost, people didn't have an opportunity to attend their funeral. Please understand. So that would have caused some kind of a nightmare. That is post traumatic stress disorder. Grief, okay. These are all mental disorders in few of the population. And few of the population, particularly those who are substance dependents, alcohol, smoking, and certain over dedicated personnel, okay, some doctors who didn't care for their health, okay, they contracted COVID-19, and then we lost almost nearly 250 doctors in South India itself. So these are all health risk behaviors. But as I was telling, the red circle is very important. Distress reactions are quite common. Vulnerable population, and then the blame gaming starts. Okay, the government didn't provide this. Okay, our college didn't provide this. University doesn't care students. Okay, people doesn't sleep well, insomnia. I'm sure because there is no regular routine, you would be sleeping in the daytime, would be awake in the night, most probably seeing your mobiles or seeing Netflix almost you would have watched 5 to 6 movies in a week. Okay, medically unexplained, okay, symptoms. MUPS means medically unexplained physical symptoms, irritability, distraction, scapegoating. You don't want to take the blame. Okay, you want to put on some person or some organization. Anger, okay, demoralization, loss of faith. Okay, because we are in an uncertainty period. So these are all the tentacles of a disaster. Okay, finally, now we come to the how we can handle the situation. So the longer I stay home, the more homeless I look. Okay, so I'm sure you're all will be so bored staying at home. Even your parents want to send you to the colleges. Now, tips for positive mental health during COVID-19 pandemic. What are the do's and don'ts? Do's, positive thinking. Many of you might think that positive thinking means, okay, I will go to the market or social gathering without a mask. Okay, and I am so immune, I will not get COVID-19. That's not positive thinking. Okay, so you will, without putting enough hard work, you will think that okay, university will take care, I will pass. Okay, no, that is not positive thinking. Positive thinking is following what you are supposed to do and then sticking on to that. During this pandemic period, you will just eat, sit, okay, and lead a sedentary life. So please do physical activity, exercise, have a balanced diet. Okay, whenever I go to the work or when I'm coming back in the evening from hospital to my home, I see lot of street foods, and invariably there are so much of crowded people, okay, thronging for these kind of street foods. See, such kind of junk food is very detrimental for your immunity. Okay, so eat a balanced diet. Usually what I suggest is, in Kannada, soppu, tarkari, halu, hannu, kalu. Okay, these are the balanced diet. Regular daily routine, that means to say you have to sleep in the night. Okay, and you can't get up at 10 o'clock and miss the breakfast. So have a proper routine. And then socialization. Don't be a lonely person and don't get scared to come out of the house. You can make a phone call. That doesn't mean all the time you have to waste your time in the social media. Okay, I'm sure the lectures have been uploaded to YouTube. That doesn't mean you have to have so much of screen period. Okay, exposure to screen. See, whatever technology may be, it causes radiation. I'm sure it causes radiation. And before you go to bed, if you are exposed to this radiation, your brain doesn't get into the resting mode. So you need to socialize, but doesn't mean that you over socialize on the gadgets. So taking a break, that means to say develop some hobbies and improve lifestyle. Okay, now today we are all suffering. India is number one in diabetic population. In fact, India is the capital for diabetes. You know why? Because we don't sleep properly. And particularly I need to caution you technical students, because you will work for a MNC company that will have a different routine. Okay, so you will be working in the night, keeping in time with the other countries, which is very detrimental to your health. What are the things that you're not supposed to do? Use substances. I'm sure you will have a lot of peer pressure. Okay, and smoking is one of the commonest thing seen in these kind of university students. I'm telling you, smoking and stress, two important things for cardiac problem. Okay, so please avoid substances, eating too much of fast food, Excessive online activity. So if someone asks, okay, you should play games, he will say, yes, I play football. In which platform? In digital platform. Okay, so please don't do such things. Excessive watching television, mostly news channels. I really get scared watching Kannada news channels. I will tell you the tone. ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರುವ ಮುಂಚೆ ಎಚ್ಚರ ಎಚ್ಚರ ಎಚ್ಚರ, ಹೊಸ ವೈರಾಣು UK ಬಂದಿದೆ. This tone itself makes you very scared. Okay, see, India has a very good recovery rate. 95% of COVID patients have recovered in India, which is highest in the whole world. Of course, it has its own reasons. We live in such a exposed situation to all the kinds of infections that we are so immune. So what I meant to say is, please don't watch these kind of news. Don't go into all these kind of social media newses. Partying, travel, you may say we will party 4 or 5 people, but you never know this 4 or 5 people with whom they have contacted. Okay, avoid travel, please avoid travel. Okay, so because you never know, there is something called asymptomatic COVID patients, so you can at any moment get infected. Focusing on negative aspects of COVID-19, please understand that we all thought technology will save. Okay, ಮಾನವ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಧಿಸಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಆದರೆ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಕುಬ್ಜನಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. We might have reached moon, we might have reached Mars, but we can't overpower nature. What is nature? Okay, according to the sun and moon. Okay, when sun goes down, we have to cut down our activities. When sun is up, okay, we need to be up and utilize the daylight. Posting about COVID-19 on social media and spreading fake news and believing fake news. In fact, most of us are wrongly informed or misinformed, and we believe that, it's a human tendency to believe wrong things. This has been a poster from WHO, World Health Organization. Choose a limited time each day when you will check COVID-19 updates. That too from government agencies. Central government has a helpline, state government has a helpline, every district has got a health helpline. So please go to the credible sites. Constantly listening to media coverage about coronavirus can make you more anxious and upset. Not only helping yourself, what you can do for people around you. Okay, there may be elderly person in your house, or there can be a elderly person in your neighborhood. Make people feel heard, okay, safe and secure. So you can coordinate. Okay, there may be 2 elderly parents whose children are in US. Okay, this is a common scene in Karnataka. So please help others who are in need. Identify and assist with these current needs, and foster the belief in personal coping skills. That means to say, SMS, you all know, social distancing, mask and sanitizer. Okay, these basic things can help you to cope with this problem. I want to tell something, don't take it as philosophical. What I have seen as a mental health professional is, see, the 21st century has become more and more selfish. Okay, it's all consumer related. You're all behind a target. Please don't go behind a target, because ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ರಥ, okay, you're a coachman for your own chariot. We get anger and we get desire, as I was telling in the beginning. Okay, we get frustrated. Anger, frustration are all same. Okay, and this horse is a crazy horse, and Desires make you blind. So each horse will take you in different direction. See, you as a logical man, you need to control these horses and keep it in the midline. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಹೇಳೋದು ಹಿತ ಮಿತ, ಹಿತ ಮಿತ. Okay, so keep it in the optimum. Okay, so don't always think that, okay, I can handle things. Okay, that's a blind belief. So stay in the midline. Okay, control your anger, control your desires. Aske iddast kal chachu. Okay, all these things. Otherwise, definitely the 21st century is becoming sad, mad, and bad. Okay, as a mental health professional, I'm cautioning you. In this technologically most evolved civilization, media is the virus, people's behavior is the pandemic, and common sense is the cure. So, with this, I want to end my talk. You can see my presentations because it's a limited period. Okay, I will try to answer some of your questions, but after this COVID-19, I started a YouTube channel where for students, how to improve self-confidence, how to handle stress management, time management, learning skills. So you can visit and then go through. Let us all work in unison to make our country fly high. Thank you very much. I can take up questions.
Sir, we have a question here.
I'm waiting for the questionnaire. Okay. So, can all vegan diet help? Yeah. See, vegan is a new concept. I mean, rather, I can say it's an old concept in a new bottle. Okay. Let me tell you, in the period of human evolution, okay, we were all okay eating these roots and fruits. Please understand, we were eating the roots and fruits. Then we started hunting. Okay, so our body in the evolutionary process is a vegetarian one. So going back to this vegan is definitely good, and scientifically it has been proven that people who are satvika ahara, okay, it's called as satvika ahara, they have less chances of developing dementia, okay, less chances of developing cancers, less chances of getting cardiac problems, diabetes. Okay, so it's a good question. Definitely you need to become more vegans. Okay, and see that eating is a personal choice, so is health is also a personal choice. We say you need to do these things, and if you don't follow you will just suffer. But see, the foods we are getting, most of it is becoming adulterated. And don't get into the trap that every organic food is as claimed it is organic. Okay, be sure that you can just grow some of the fruits and vegetables in your backyard, or you can directly take it from the farmers. So getting into vegan diet is very healthy. It is been robustly supported by the scientific evidence, and In the evolutionary process, man on, because of non-availability, when there is drought and other things, he had to go for hunting. So it's a good question. Next one. Edit the gene of coronavirus. How to deal with homesickness? Okay. Uh, See, homesickness actually meaning not that you are at home for longer period and then you become sick of home. Homesickness happens when you are away from the home and you are yearning to get back to home. Okay. So wherever you go, making it a healthy place, like healthy in the sense psychologically healthy, okay, having good friends, okay, or good interaction, social support makes you feel homely. This is my second home. Your college should become a second home. Then your homesickness will come down. If you are sick about your home, that means you have to discuss that with your parents. Okay. When ಮನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಕುಟುಂಬ ತುಂಬದಾಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. So don't go and stay in your rooms. Come to the hall, interact with the people. Okay. Because man is a social creature. So the more you interact with other human beings, your homesickness will come down. Why can't we edit the gene of coronavirus, making it ineffective and infecting everyone with it so that the harmful virus will be repelled? Very good question. See, you have seen this mosquito repellents, hollow. Initially, when it came, okay, so the mosquito also became intelligent. Then all out had to become extra strong, okay, double strong. Mean to say, nature itself makes this coronavirus, okay, mutated. So not everything is regulated by humans. The problem is there might have been almost 1,000 times, I'm telling you, 1,000 times mutated coronavirus within 1 year, 365 days. Imagine in a day coronavirus changing its properties 2 to 3 times. It's not so easy. That's why now UK strain has come. Okay. So scientists, okay, microbiologists are trying their hard, but nature is the master. It's not so easy. You will have a vaccine, but I don't know whether this vaccine can repel, as you say, all the 1,000 variants. Can you please give more information about the new strain of COVID? See, I'll give you an example. If you are a computer science engineer, you can't say too many things about civil engineering. Likewise, I am a psychiatrist. I can't say much about this virology or the microbiology aspect. So I'm really unable to answer this question, to be honest, because as a professional, I'm not supposed to give wrong informations. So you can go to the Government of India website, okay, ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research website, icmr.gov.in, okay. You can get more information on that. Next question, please. Is immunity tablets useful for this pandemic? Yes, partially. Okay, partially, but not a complete kind of a protector. What matters is mainly your psychological stress. Okay. Is coronavirus vaccine worth? as it is mutating into new forms. In fact, I have my own reservations about coronavirus. When coronavirus comes, I mean, the government has, I work for government sector. So government has already taken the details of the doctors working in the government setup. I don't know. I am still in a dilemma whether to get vaccination for corona or not. But because we don't know the long-term side effects of corona vaccine, let us wait until a proper data, scientific data comes out. But as of now, I have not made up my mind to take corona vaccine, honestly. This is my entirely personal view. Let us wait and see how it. But there was a media information that Health Minister of Haryana took trial of corona vaccine and then he became COVID positive. That was not because of vaccine. It was because he was already exposed to it and then vaccination aggravated the problem. So I can't really confidently say how much corona vaccine is effective, because within corona vaccine there are 3 or 4 types. Okay, one from Russian, one from German, one from UK, and the other one from Sweden. So there are 4 types. Each one is differently effective. People say the best one is 95% effective. So we don't know. Tips to control anger. Wonderful question. 4Ds. 4D. Okay. First D is distract yourself. Okay. Distract from the event. Okay. Don't focus on the event. Focus on yourself. Okay. Distract. So you can distract into some other activity. Delay your response. Okay. Don't immediately react to it. Okay. Third one is take a deep breath. Okay. Sarala pranayama anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Sarala pranayama. Take a deep breath. Okay. Hold it on. Focus on your breath. Count. Sometimes you can count, or sometimes you can imagine good things. Okay. Then leave the breath. So deep breathing. Finally, drink water. Okay. Water is the elixir of life. Your body, 72% of your body is water. It really makes you feel relaxed. Very good question. Can medication improve mental health? Meditation. Okay. See, definitely, meditation is a preventive step. Okay. By doing meditation, what is it that you are targeting? You are targeting to control your emotions. Whether you want to do it by meditation, whether you want to do it by doing some kind of a jogging, aerobatics, okay, whatever method. Just because somebody tells that do meditation, don't force yourself. If you enjoy it, do it. But definitely, okay, the target is not just meditation, the target is self-regulating. Meditation helps you to master self-regulation. We had to suffer COVID-19 because we lost self-regulating. You saw, nobody had a control. Everybody were going behind the target. Okay. So meeting target. Okay. So number of products to be sold, target. Okay. So self-regulating. So meditation helps in self-regulating. So to that matter, any activity, don't think that by drinking alcohol you can self-regulate. Okay. That's a very bad way of self-regulating. So meditation, yoga, or whatever activities. Okay. The key point is self-regulate. Self-regulate your ABC. A means effect means emotions, bhavane. B means behavior, ನಡವಳಿಕೆ. ಕೋಪ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಓಕೆ, ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಎಸೆಯೋದು, ಬಾಗಿಲು ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್. ಸಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್, ಯೋಚನೆಗಳು. Okay, so self-regulate ABC, bhavane, naduvalike, yochane. Next question. But would these tips come in handy when we are in at rage or in inferno mode? Yes. Getting into rage itself is a weakness of human mind. I'm telling you. Okay. Uh, I can't remember when I got rage with my patients. In fact, in my 24 years as a psychiatrist, I don't remember at all getting rage. Why I'm telling, because that is the way I was trained during my post graduation. So getting into the rage itself is a weakness of your mind. So master not to get raged. You may get angry, but there are different methods of conveying angry. ಹೋಗಲೋ ಅನ್ನಕ್ಕೂ ನೀನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ ನಾನು ಒಪ್ಪಲ್ಲ. Did you understand? Okay, even with your friends. Okay, ಹೋಗಲೋ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೂ ನೀನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ ನನಗೆ ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, so your tone, okay, prosody ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Your emotional connotation with the voice itself, okay, will lead to rage. Okay, ಯಾರನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊವೋಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಹಳ ಈಸಿ. ಓಕೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಸಲ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಈ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ರೌಡ್, ನೀ ಗಂಡ್ಸಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಇವನ್ ಪ್ರೊವೋಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು, ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡಸ್ತನ ನಿನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡೇನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಸಿ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ರೇಜನ್ನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಬಟ್ ರೇಜ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಸೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್. ಪೇಷನ್ಸ್, ತಾಳ್ಮೆ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಸೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್. ಹೌ ಟು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಡೈಲಿ ಲೈಫ್? ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅಂತ? ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಲೈಫಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ರಾಂಗ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪನಾದ್ರೂ ಭಯ ಇರಬೇಕಪ್ಪ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಓದೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಎನ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಮಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್. ನೋ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನಾವು ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ರೋಡ್, ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಭಯ, ಒಂಚೂರು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫಾಲೋ ದ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್. ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬರೀ ಮಾಮನ್ನ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಟು safeguard ourselves. So that means to say, when you take your vehicle to the road, you have to be a little bit stressful in order to avoid accidents. Likewise, even in life, there has to be, okay, some amount of stress. But what is stress? There is a demand and what you react. Okay, demand and your coping, if it is not balanced, then it becomes stress. For example, you have an exam next week and then now you start opening the book. Okay, then it is definitely stressful. But if you start in the your semester system, okay, at least 4 months before. Okay, so if you don't cover up, or I might fail, or I may not score this much, that much of stress is needed. So optimum stress is needed to lead a happy life. Okay, so life can never be complacent. Any other question? Okay, so thank you very much. It was really a wonderful interaction. I wish I could have seen the faces of the students, but there were really very good interactive questions. Let me see. Once we come out of COVID-19, we can always have a one-to-one interaction. At the end, once again, I thank the staff of Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering for giving this opportunity, and wish you all a very happy, healthy 2021. Thank you very much.
That was a very good session, sir. I am sure the viewers enjoyed the session. On behalf of Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering, Mysuru, a special thanks to Dr. Ravish BN for his informative session and for joining us. Thank you very much, sir. And thanks to all the participants for being so interactive. Thank you, sir.